In more top six opposition this week. What's the mindset after Ipswich last week in a game that we didn't win, of course, but again, perhaps looking back on, wasn't a million miles away?
No, I think the mindset is to learn and improve. I think that always has to be our mindset. This is, again, a process where we're learning about each other, about ourselves every day. On Saturday, I was a bit down. I felt like we'd underperformed, first and foremost, and I felt like they were streets ahead of us, which they have every right to be, given, you know, their spending power. But having watched the game back, again, it was moments. I thought they were more pragmatic than I thought they would be. They played more direct balls, long balls. I think we had a big chance early in the game through Connor, and then the penalty, we had all the momentum, for me, had them rocked. And that is a massive momentum swing with the penalty, because if we score it, stadium lifts, players gain confidence, everyone's on the front foot, going on to win the game. But if you miss, it does that for the opposition, and that's exactly what happened, and we didn't recover and conceded a second. But again, in these big games, it is about the moments, and that will be true for Friday against Sheffield Wednesday. We have to make sure that once we get these moments, which are few and far between in these games, that we take them.
That was very much the case when they played here. Again, there wasn't much in it. We had a great chance early on.
Yeah.
I think they scored just before half-time, didn't they? And they had their moments and won 2-0 in a game that, again, there was not a lot in it.
Yeah, and when it goes to 2 against the better teams in this league, you're never going to recover. You know, we've had some good recoveries in my period here and scored late goals, which have won us games. But those against mature teams, Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, who have recruited some real experience and maturity, it's really hard because they manage the game so well. It's just about, for us, the first goal, which is vitally important, and then making sure that we take our moments and manage the moments and win the moments, and we haven't won them often enough in the big games.
That said, so you go to a team on Friday night who are on this club record unbeaten streak, top of the table, yeah, by all intents and purposes, probably going to be promoted, but because it's been so tight in the big games and just the moments, you go there with some belief, I presume.
You know, football sometimes gives you opportunities, and this is another opportunity for us. This is a team that I believe in world football are on the best run at the moment, have broken a club record, you know, over 100 years old for undefeated games, top of our league, playing extremely well, brilliant squad of players, hugely mature, hugely experienced, so no one really gives us a prayer, but I quite like that. I've got to be honest, I quite like it, and hopefully we can embrace the opportunity to go there and cause an upset. Yeah,
it's quite rare for this club and this team. The expectation isn't for once heaped on your shoulders. I know you'll have expectations of your own and aspirations of your own, but it doesn't happen very often, does it? So again, perhaps that's quite a refreshing thing.
And again, I think this is a process and a journey for us, and another learning experience, going back to, you know, Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday, who have recruited serious experience and maturity. That isn't our model. Our model is to recruit players who we think have points to prove, or players that we deem that we can turn into asset value for the football club, and need education and need time to learn and grow to become a mature, experienced player. That's our way of doing things. So every time we play in these big games, the learning takes place, and hopefully we'll get better and improve. For now, it's again about the game on Friday and how we do better than what we did early in the season against them, and how we improve on our performance level from last Saturday. If we can do that, I think we've got good enough players to cause any team a problem, regardless if they're top of the league or anything else. Just concentrate on ourselves and hopefully bring out the best.
Yeah, we've talked about this a few times lately. The big games, the games to look forward to, aren't they? I mean, again, it's Friday night, which perhaps is not ideal for everybody getting over there, but we'll have a good crowd there. And what a game to look forward to, you know, two clubs of that stature.
Again, for us, it's given us a freedom, because no one gives us a prayer. So great, we can go there, hopefully express ourselves and enjoy the experience, enjoy playing with freedom, have a plan. Certainly they'll have a plan for us, and again, whoever comes out on top will deserve to on the day. That's the one thing that we wish for, that if whoever performs well on the day, you get the right result. So hopefully that's us. And
this is a sign-off before Wembley, so a little gap in the league after that. So regardless of what happens on Friday night and where you are over that period when you don't play so many games, still optimistic about what the rest of the season holds. Is it important to still look at a bigger picture?
Look, I think it's just football, isn't it? And fans and people involved in football will always look at other people's fixtures, other people's results, start to panic about if they feel we're being sucked in, etc. And yeah, the league might look different when we go back into league action post the cup final, but we feel like we've got players returning from injury. George Johnston and MJ Williams have trained really well this week. Tomo's back as well, which is great. And then we've got a good run of fixtures to finish the season. Everyone will be fit and healthy. It gives us a bit of a time for reset. The cup final at Wembley is not a distraction. It's a pleasure to be involved in. So yeah, just to stay calm, stay relaxed, stay focused, regardless of what happens elsewhere. We just need to take care of our own business and finish strong. But as I said, for now, our focus is on Sheffield Wednesday. It can't be anything else because they're such a good team.
And it is only 3 matches since you won a game, and there's a bit of a feeling perhaps that...
And we haven't lost all those either.
You got a point away from home. So I mean, we haven't fallen off a cliff, have we?
No. 3 or 4 weeks ago we won 2 games 5-0, but again, that's football. It's just short-sighted at times, but that's the nature of the industry. That's great. We'll embrace when we're being praised, and we have to embrace when we're being criticised. And I understand there'll be critique at the moment because we've underperformed the last few weeks, but it's about getting back on the horse and making sure we get back to the levels I know we can get to. As I said, it's a process for us. It's about progression, it's about learnings, it's about process, it's about just getting better and improving with every season, and I think we're doing that.
Just finally, you touched on the injury situation there. So MJ and George are back in training this week. 2 lads have been around the club for quite a long time. Is that useful to have them back in?
It's been huge, as I said, just the influence on the training pitch, around the facility, how positive they are. Both leaders in their own rights, both understand what good looks like, understand what's required at this football club, what's needed to perform well at this football club, and have really helped increase the morale around the training ground, which is fantastic.
So we just missed Jon and Jack at the moment, the long-term ones, and you've touched on that we missed 2 experienced pros. And everybody has injuries in the season,
huge.
But they're guys who bring a lot in house, and inevitably...
As I said, there isn't an unlimited pot of money here, and when we're doing recruitment, we try to be strategic. And Jack Iredale, for instance, is one of those players that against your Ipswich's, Sheffield Wednesdays, we felt like we needed a more defensive option in that left wing-back role. So was recruited for these big games, and obviously when you miss him, you're then having to tweak things like playing Geff in the opposite side, or maybe playing Declan and Randall, whose strengths are attacking with a more defensive role, which can be challenging at times, but everyone faces those in the course of a season. But certainly Jack and Jon, who's also a big player for us, we've missed dearly.
But we've got what we've got. We've still got a good bunch.
That.
We've still got a good bunch on your back to keep...
Exactly that. As I said, look, if we, at the moment we're in the playoffs and we're at a Wembley Cup final, and if you'd have offered at the start of the season, regardless of the highs that we've had, I think everybody would have snapped their hands off. So for now, we'll just keep going. We'll deal with the critique. We'll embrace everything that we're trying to do and strive to be better.